Greetings to you. Thank you so much for finding time to watch the content that we continually produce for you. Do remember to subscribe and hit the notification panel so that whenever we produce the content, you don't get to miss out. My name is Reha Bomboi and you're on the Base Talent Show. On this particular episode, I bring to you a gospel artist, a worshipper, and a good friend of mine who I've known for quite a number of years. And actually, it's interesting to get to know that I've appeared in her album that we are going to be talking about today. Now, kindly introduce yourself. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Maryanne Nanjom, and I'm saved. I'm single.
Wow.
In my family, I'm the 8th one, and I thank God for that.
Wow, wonderful. You don't really look like a last born.
Yeah, but you know, it is life, Rahab. You have to be strong in this life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, life brings so many things that makes people to be strong. You don't just have to walk around telling yourself that you are last born and life has to wait for you.
Wow.
So I'm strong.
Yes,
I thank God.
Wow, I've watched your music. It's interesting. And of course, we're going to be playing some of that music even as you continue the show. But when exactly did you get into the music industry?
Okay, I've been in music industry for quite some time, like 10 years.
10 years is a long time.
Hope nobody's going to calculate my years. But I thank God because it has just take the hand of God.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
Sure.
But God has given me grace, and I thank Him for that.
Amen.
Yeah.
So in the you talked of 10 years. Is it 10 years recording or 10 years just beginning to sing?
Not recording, but 10 years in church, worshiping, leading services, practicing, and serving God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, everybody has a story of how they began singing. So did yours come 10 years ago, or it's something inborn, something you realized when you were young? When did you realize you can actually sing?
Okay, when I was back in secondary, I used to love so much Chibalonza. She used to inspire me so much. And she is a great worshiper. And for me to start singing, she inspired me so much.
Actually, talking of Angela Balonza as an inspiration, that could tell me a lot maybe about your life, because when we look at Angela, maybe we see a woman who was prayerful, who did music, and it's music even after quite a number of years of her passing away, it still touches us. It's still impactful in our lives. What is the secret?
Okay, the secret behind her music, it was prayer, as you said, because one day we invited her in our school, and it was just a worship night, and she prayed a lot. And what she said, that when you want to go far, involve God in everything that you do. And that is what I grasped from her.
Wonderful.
That is what I started, and I started practicing and asking God to help me. That is how I started my music.
There are quite a number of people who say they draw the inspiration from somebody, but it's not somebody they've had an experience or hear from maybe directly, leave alone what we see on the televisions or the YouTube. But like you yourself, you're saying she came to high school, she sang, and you were inspired, and she said something and that touched you. So is it something that maybe everybody should emulate?
You know what, Rahab? When something it is in you, you don't have to be contact with that person. You can, somebody can mentor you from very far. We didn't even talk. She just inspired me the way she was worshiping, praying. And I asked God. I told God that I don't want to be like Angela Tribalonza, but I just want my grace. And God is so faithful. I followed what I saw, and I grew from that.
Wow. When it comes to doing music now professionally, the point you decided now you're going to do your own music and record away from now just singing in church, how did you begin?
Okay, I began by getting some lyrics, words, and then writing them down, praying, and I approached so many singers, but it was in vain. You know, when you are starting, nobody want to pull you from where you are, but people like to be friend with you when you are up. But when you are starting, nobody want to associate with you. I encourage myself in church, and people were encouraging me, why don't you make a point of recording? That is just what I started.
Wow. And how many songs have you done so far?
I did the first album. It was an English song, but unfortunately, the people who knew it was just church members and my producer, because it didn't go far. I didn't have people to encourage me, so I just left it like that. And I thank God later on, God gave me the grace. Later on, I did Kiswahili songs. Yeah.
The first album had how many songs?
Like 6.
6 songs.
Yeah.
So what span did it take for you to now, after 6 songs, to produce another album, the Elohim album?
Oh my. Like 5 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
5 years.
Wow.
Because I was so much discouraged. There was nobody to encourage me. That's why.
And again, you're saying it's only the producer and your
me,
pastor and
and
you.
my pastor.
What about the church members?
They knew about it, but you know, sometimes when nobody knows about the industry, they cannot help you.
I think it's very important that we learn to support our very own. Even as people are coming up in the church, we should learn to support our very own. Because I believe if they were to support the first, even the members, even if we have 100 members in a church and they support, at least there is that emotional support, and it can push you to even do other songs. And I think to you, our dear viewer, you can tell us, what do you think about this particular issue of us not maybe supporting our very own? We just want to support people who have gone ahead, maybe people who have already made it, and people from outside countries, but we don't support our very own. Kindly leave your comments on the comment panel down below, and I really appreciate. Now, somebody is looking at you and they are like, this lady is just saying she can sing. Can she really sing? How about you do as maybe an a cappella of one song that you did in English before we get down to play maybe what you've done in the Elohim album?
You are worthy, Lord, you are worthy. You are righteous, Jesus, you are righteous. No one like you, oh. No one, no one like you.
Wow, he sings so well. I want us to listen to one of the songs that he has done, and we are going to definitely be singing along. These are good songs and worship songs for that matter, and I hope that you get encouraged, and that they will be ministering to you as well, even as she desires to minister to all of us in music. So DJ, you can give us that song. to thank the Lord, actually. Yeah, it's important to really thank the Lord.
Very, very.
Yeah, and you've done the song so well, even the voices. And I remember back in the years, you used to teach us voices.
Yeah.
It was not an easy task. But now the question is, how did you learn yourself? What are the tricks?
Okay, by doing so much practice, maybe you hear you can even practice a voice by using other people songs. You start with a low voice, you train yourself, especially when you are washing the dishes, making things around well. You just do it for yourself.
Wow, so you just sing along to music.
Yeah, because the teacher will always teach you, but maybe he will give you 35%, but 70%, 75% is yours.
Wonderful. So if I come to your house, I'll find you singing. Probably if you're washing the dishes or clothes.
Of course, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
And that's how you learn.
yeah. That
It's
is
a
how you
process.
train yourself. You learn. Maybe you can hear somebody who is going very high. You can try that on your own, because sometimes it is weird when you are doing it when people are there. You can just do it when you are alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, in the African context, they usually say talent does not necessarily pay. And of course, when you get into some of these artistic things like singing, drawing, dancing, they don't support. So, what about you? Did your parents support you when you
Yeah.
did that?
Yeah, they supported me by encouraging me to just follow my talent, because my mother used to say, "You are not all the people who are talented with the offices work. You can be talented by even farming."
Wow.
Yeah,
I think it's important to, even as we raise, because even like when you look at the Americans, they nurture their children, give them their talent. Even the talents that we see growing up, they start small. And I think it's something that we can learn to nurture even in us. Now, how did you compose these kind of songs? Because these are prayer songs. It's a prayer, miguuni pako ndipo napata baraka na nashukuru. So is it an experience ama it's something that you just woke up and like it's obvious if I stay in the feet of Jesus, then I can get the blessing. Is it something that you have figured out in your mind, or it's an experience in your life?
yeah, it is an experience, because sometimes when you live in this life, it does not go just smoothly. Sometimes you just meet with so many challenges, and you can even think that of a friend who can help you. Maybe they have money. You say, okay, let me go to my friend. And they can even fail you. If they can tell you, okay, I'm going to support you, and then later on they have even closed the phone, you cannot get them. But the only person who can remain with you, it is only God. You pray to God, and in his own way, he makes way.
Wow. And there are so many people out there who probably want to start doing gospel music, especially worship. Can you look at that camera? That's your camera. And maybe tell somebody who is willing to do some worship, what is the secret?
Okay, the secret behind your talent or whatever that God has given you is when you realize you can do this. The only thing that you can do is you pray to God, and you ask God to give you the right people who can maybe nurture what you have in you, and sometimes you can just go and tell God to show you the way you can start. And God is so faithful. He will bring people along your way, and they are going to help you.
So we are going to play the song Emmanuel, because it is the album is called Emmanuel. But before we do that, can you tell us something about the song itself?
Okay, Emmanuel, I have realized in my life, I have gone eh? a lot of stuff, things that I cannot help myself. But the only thing that I realize, that when you lean on God, you put your hope on God, God is going to hold you and is going to hold your hands, and wherever that you want to go, God is going to make you to reach your dreams. Because I have seen so many people, they have been maybe left by their families, especially those people who cannot bear children. Their husband, they're just leaving them. Because of those challenges, I've realized that Emmanuel is God with us. Even if people leaves you, you don't have anybody to any shoulder to lean on, but the only shoulder that you can lean is God. Whether it is dark, is bright in the morning, God is going to walk with you. And I've realized holding a friend, Emmanuel, is a friend who cannot despise you, who cannot let you down. That's why I decided, God inspired me to sing such a song.
Wow. And it's that time that we get to play the song itself. And for me, this is so inspirational. There's a kind of time in studio that we can worship and, cry to God and worship and bless the Lord. Emmanuel, God with us. I'm sure God is with us. good song. And hapo katikati umepeana testimony. Umesema kama vile Mungu mimi ameninua, ukaambia mtu atazame hata yeye Mungu. Looks like you have an interesting story. Would you mind sharing some of that, maybe to inspire somebody? Because people go through hard times, and we are at a season where when people go through issues, you tell a friend and then they go preaching you out there. And some people have decided to be reserved. So even if you're going through something difficult, you keep it to yourself, it eats you up. And we have so many cases of suicide because people are depressed. But you're here. And given even that song itself, even you saying hata mimi nimeinuliwa, tazama hata wewe Mungu, you're giving a testimony. Would you mind sharing maybe part of that story with us?
Okay, part of my story, I've gone through a lot. Sometimes back, even the landlord locked my house.
Oh.
And I had to move to a friend's place. And you know this life,
Yeah.
and the economy, people cannot keep you for so long.
Yeah.
And I had to struggle, but the only person who kept me going is only God. He encouraged me through his word, and sometimes I can go to to our church, worship, and later in the evening I'm asking God, where am I going? And
Because you don't have somewhere to stay.
yeah, I know I used to have,
Oh.
but as sometimes, you know, friends,
Yeah.
it reach a time now you become a bother to them. And because maybe sometimes God can make that situation to be like that, so that at least you can hold on him, not depending on people. And it happened to me like 6 months, and it was not easy.
It's a long period of time.
Yeah, and then later God helped me, and I realized that I can be a teacher. And I went through the college. Though it was difficult in that period, you are just like a woman who cannot bear anything, because a land that you cannot get something, that land is just a bare land. Nothing that people can get it, can get anything from it. So I just take it as a mwanamke ambaye ni tasa. But later I encourage people that even though you go through a lot, God is there for you. It is just like a season. God wants to teach you so that at least you can be encourage a person in this life. But the thing that you should not be doing in this life, don't be a reserved person. Don't keep it for yourself, because when you keep it for yourself, that is darkness. You see left, there is nobody who can can help you, right, north, east. But the only person who can help you, sometimes you can just tell somebody, let them go and tell others, because tomorrow you will become a story. And people, they can say, if so and so stood, then even me, I can stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the one thing that is standing out today is that you can go through struggles, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Life is a matter of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Today you struggle, tomorrow you struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
The other day maybe you struggle with family, another
Mm-hmm.
day it's education,
Mm-hmm.
another day it's rent. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a life of many struggles.
Yeah.
But it's all about turning to God
Yeah.
and leaning on God himself
Mm-hmm.
alone,
Mm-hmm.
because he alone is our help. And I think that is a very important point, even not to forget, even
Yeah.
after today. But somebody would ask, you're talking about leaning on God. You're talking about when I don't have a friend, it is God who's going to be my friend. And others will take God as that big person, that supreme being that one who you know, the Bible says that when Moses would go up the mountain and when God would be appearing, it would be lightning, thunders, and somebody would be asking, okay, is that the person you're going to make a friend?
Mm, okay. You know, God cannot come from heaven and stand here and tells you, Rahab, now I'm your friend. No, he uses people. Sometimes you can be my friend for some time, and then later on, God removes you in my life. That is how we grow, and that is how we see the love of God from people. So even if you are going through a lot, you don't have to isolate yourself. No, be friends to people, share your fears, share your struggle. And as I said, don't be afraid to tell somebody what you're going through, because that is not your end. Our God, he cannot come just like me, the way I'm talking to you, but he can just use somebody to be a friend to you, so that person can encourage you, can give you what you need at that moment. God is a spirit. He lives in people, and his deeds he manifests through people.
Wow. And somebody would still be asking, uh, we said, you even said, even to be able to come up with this kind of music, it's all about prayer.
Yeah.
But there's that person who only says, God, it is now in the evening, thy servant sleepeth.
Mm.
So is that the kind of prayer you're talking about? What kind of prayer are you talking about? Is it just crossing your chest with your fingers and drawing across? Is that the prayer you're talking about? What kind of prayer are you talking about? Are you talking about the prayer of Hannah, going again and again to pray? Are you talking about the prayer of Jesus? What exactly are you talking about?
Okay, the prayer that I'm talking about is just to make God closer to you by reading his word, practicing it, because we are being told that we be the doers of the word, and talking to God. Sometimes you have to be to look for a time and talk to your maker, and maybe you can make it your daily routine in the morning, in the evening, at lunchtime. What I'm saying, it is just you make God to be your companion. Yeah.
Wow. And given this kind of wisdom that you have, I know probably the last time we were together you used to mentor us. Do you still continue with the mentorship? And what kind of mentorship, maybe for somebody who doesn't know you the mentor, what kind of mentorship do you do?
Okay, what I normally do in the church, I with the youths, the teenagers, I befriend you. When you know, we can talk together, and you realize that I have something in me. That is what I do. Sometimes it is a bit spiritual. You know, God gives people a discerning spirit. You can discern this person. She can do better in this area. She can do better in this area. The only thing that you can only do it is just to encourage that person. And you can, maybe after he has done something, you tell her, hey, if you do this, you follow this route, God is going to make you great.
Wow.
You're going to become great in this life. So what I normally do it is just to encourage person, and because God has given me the grace of worship and teaching vocals, I can teach you, and without any cost, because I've realized that thing, it is in you, and then I follow you step by step.
When we talk about mentorship, it's something that has been neglected by many. And some people just say we mentor, but we don't see what they have mentored. And actually, probably that's why we have one of the people that she has mentored, and maybe talking about her. So is it you noticed a gift in her?
Yeah, I noticed that she can worship, she can pray, and then I started from there.
So it is you as a mentor who approaches the person you want to mentor. It is not the other way around.
What you do, you befriend the person, you bring the person closer to you, and then later you encourage that person, whatever that she's doing, you encourage her. And then you tell her, when you are going to do this, do like this. Don't do like this. Don't do like this. Do like this. By so doing, you are just mentoring. Within no time, you become friends. You find the person coming to ask you, I was thinking about this thing. How am I going to do it? And then you encourage that person.
And maybe, like, for example, when you talk of music, wouldn't you feel jealous that maybe if I mentor this person in music, they can become better than me?
You know what, Rahab? When God gives you that grace, He says that He searches the heart of man. And whatever that you do, you have to pray against every spirit of jealousy. Tell God to deal with it. When God gives you that spirit of mentorship, He makes you like a mother. And when you are a mother to somebody, you cannot get jealous of that person when she grows up, and maybe when she goes maybe higher
levels.
than you.
Yeah.
No. God gives you a motherly heart. That's what happens.
Wow. Hi. Introduce yourself.
I am Caroline Rehab Modoni. I'm born again. I love Christ as my personal savior. Mary is my mentor. She mentors me. We go to the same church. She is the praise and worship leader. For the first time that I came to Christ Bible Church, our church is called Christ Bible Church, I saw a gift in her that attracted me to know how she does it, ya kwamba that nilikuwa that alikuwa ameniweka kwa, yani nimemweka kwa hati yangu, nilikuwa nataka kujua zaidi ya kuimba. So sikumapproach. I remember that nilikuwa fearful. Mtu niliapproach was her, Rehab.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked. She told me that I should join praise and worship, blah blah blah. So to Mary, she has mentored me and amenifunza niache kuwa muoga, ya kwamba everything is possible. Yeah.
And throughout the period that she has been mentoring you, what progress have you seen in your life that if she were not in your life haungekuwa umeachieve? Ni vitu gani unaweza sema kama si Maryanne in these areas singekuwa nimegrow, ni kwa sababu amenisaidia kugrow kwa hizo areas?
Firstly, singekuwa najua nini kuimba vizuri, as in the way I should focus on the way how to pray and how to enter a song. Yani venye unaweza ingia kwa wimbo ukiimba, then chukua kuimba. Singejua then singejua as in ile kuwa tu committed na kazi ya Mungu. Ya kwamba singekuwa najua ku sacrifice myself nikienda, tuseme for example nipende kulala, sitaki kwenda keshas, sitaki kujicommit in anything in the church, singejua. Amenifunza a lot.
Wow, asante. Now back to Maryanne. What is that one thing that you don't like about gospel music in Kenya?
That is a tricky question. What I don't like is you cannot differentiate gospel with the worldly songs, because the way they are doing it is the way we are doing it. But thank God, because there's still remnants. We have so many of them. They are worshippers, and I believe within no time, those people who are growing, I believe we are going to mentor them in the church. After you have mentored them, they are going to go outside there, and I believe they are going to bring different.
Wow.
In the world of music.
Yeah, wow. there are so many youths who are just realizing that they can sing, and especially when people are growing, that's where you start realizing, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And looking at the kind of music, seriously, we have in the music industry as of the moment, what is selling is dirty. Music will not sell if girls are not dancing and shaking their bodies. Music will not sell if it doesn't have that dirty language. What would you tell somebody who wants to start singing and is in a dilemma of doing music that will sell and music that is impactful?
Okay. What I'm going to say is that in our churches, if you realize this person has that passion of singing, the only thing that I can say is when they get somebody who can hold them and teach them what about the music. The only problem that we have, so many people, we are looking for the wrong people to mentor us. Because when outside there I can see somebody who has gone very far, and there's somebody here in the church, they have not gone very far, but they can give you something or they can teach you something. That is the problem that we have. People follow those people who have gone far. They are leaving the basic in the church. That is what is the problem that you are facing right now. But I will just encourage our pastors to talk to the young men, those people who are, they have something in them, at least they can teach them, or they can use that platform to call those people who are outside there, at least to teach them what it takes to worship God.
Now, I think we've come to the end, but again, you have Skiza tunes. Your music is on Skiza?
Yes.
Tell us, how do we get your music on Skiza? And again, how do we get the music? If somebody watching wants to buy your CD or watch your music, where do they go?
I have a link in YouTube.
Okay.
When you click Maryanne Nanjom, you're going to get songs.
All right.
And through the songs on the screen, you're going to see my skizas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Skiza number.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming, the
Thank
two
you.
of you. Even
Thank
you,
you.
the mentor. You've been mentored.
Thank you.
Do make sure you grow to be a better girl, right? Wonderful. Now that makes, and we've come to the end of the Base Talent Show, today's episode. I do hope that you've been inspired and that you have learnt a lot of things. And one thing I'll not forget to repeat is that despite the struggles you're going through, they will be there today, tomorrow, and maybe forever. But the one thing that you cannot afford to miss is leaning on God. It is in God that you will find the hope that you need. It is in God that you will find all these things that you want. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do subscribe, like, share, and also hit the notification panel so that you don't miss out on anything that we are going to be producing and preparing for you. From me, it's a goodbye, but before we get to leave, we're going to play some of the songs even by Maryanne Nanjom. Do enjoy the rest of your time.
Asubuhi na mapema naona fadhili zako, naona rehema zako, ushindi na amani, naona upendo wako. Asubuhi na mapema nainua mikono yangu nikisema wastahili, nasujudu mbele zako. Asubuhi na mapema nasujudu mbele zako. Asubuhi na mapema, hey. Asubuhi na mapema, msaada wao watoka kwako. Asubuhi na mapema, asubuhi na mapema, nakutukuza Bwana, fadhili zako hauna ubaguzi. Mume wa wajane, nani kama wewe? Nani kama wewe Bwana? Nitakutukuza Yesu, mfalme wa wafalme, tegemeo letu Baba. Wewe ni Baba, sijapata mwingine,